What is up, basketball fans? This is Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast presented by Zing Zang's Blazing Bloody Mary Mix and The Celebrity Mint. Go check out their products in the description below. If you're watching on YouTube at Apollo HOU, hit that subscribe button. I'm here with the What We Learned, Houston Rockets Edition King, Josh Garcia. How we doing, bud?
Salute, brother. I'm doing incredible. I got to see 13 hours of basketball, about 10 hours of football.
Yeah.
Somehow jam-packed that in one day. It was awesome. We need more days like this. The streets were saying we need a MLB 4th of July national showcase. That'd be sick.
Okay.
All sports days like this are incredible. I'm glad we all got to witness it, and I'm more than happy to be here to talk about it. How are you?
It was a blast. Christmas Day was hectic, to say the least, with both 3 full games of football and then 5 games in the NBA. My sports heart was full. My love tank was full with the sports going on. So got to hang out with Christmas. We had a Merry Christmas with the Strankman family. So had a blast there in Alabama and got to watch lots of sports. So, you can't really ask for much more.
Oh, yeah.
We have to get into this immediately. We're recording this on Wednesday night later. Tuesday night, a few things happened in the NBA. Before we get into the Christmas Day shenanigans, Ja Morant. Did we learn anything?
No. He's a dog. We know this, right?
Yeah.
He's doing his gun New Orleans celebration dance.
Yeah,
cool.
Partially,
right? Good. It was a cool visual, but I mean, it's just you can't do that.
Rough,
especially now.
Yeah. So the bazooka thing is a New Orleans dance, which you can point that out that it's a New Orleans dance, but the thing is, it's still a bazooka. It's not like it's not like it's just like a New Orleans kind of dance thing. Ooh, like dancey dance. It's still a bazooka. Like it's the image of a bazooka being put on the shoulder. And then he also added his own pistols, the Glocks. Rest in peace, Gaston Glock, the originator of the name of the Glock. That's where it comes from. He's rolling over in his grave after watching Ja Morant firing off the Glock last night into the stands into section 113, and then adding the bazooka at the end. So, yeah, maybe we take some notes. Maybe we just dial it back a little bit.
This is just awesome what he's been doing. I think he's really leaned into and kind of what we've been talking about. Like, yeah, what he did was bad, but in comparison to a lot of what other people have done this season and beyond, is it really that bad? I don't know. I just love how the Grizzlies social team just completely leaned into it. I think that was great. There's just a certain level of pettiness behind it, especially with that like new formed Southwest Division rivalry with New Orleans and Memphis. I think this is great for the league. Maybe not great PR, but if if you know, it's great for everyone if you have a light sense of humor. Support legal gun usage.
It's a little rough, and the AO from the Memphis Twitter was. I wouldn't lean into it if I was admin, and then if I did tweet it out, I don't know how you're the head of the social media department at the Memphis Grizzlies and leave it up, because it's been about 24 hours now.
Still there.
It's still there if you want to go look at it. So, whatever. Ja, if you're not going to learn, the rest of the organization needs to learn that we got an image to keep up with here if we're going to be the face of the league.
Exactly. 4-0 since Ja has come back. I think that is huge for not only my propaganda, but you'll be hearing a lot from me about it this season. We'll just leave it at that for now.
It's a shame that they started like 6-18.
Yeah,
whatever it was.
A lot of ground to make up.
Math is hard.
Yeah.
Moving on. Christmas Day, not so merry and cheery for everyone. Aaron Gordon bit by a dog on his face and hand and ended up with 21 stitches. This is away from the team until further notice, until he heals up. So, Aaron Gordon, I hope you get better. But what did you do to the dog to make it like bite you that hard for 21 stitches? Like, that's not a small amount of stitches.
Yeah, like what did he do to make him that mad? Like there's something more to this story. 21 stitches. That's at least 21 different bites, right? I mean, we'll say 10. We'll say 10 different bites. How about that?
It could be 2 really big bites and 10 stitches on each.
That is bad. Yeah. Like I have no idea. what he could have done to make him that mad. But honestly, just one of those freak sports injuries, like all Houston sports fans know is the Correa broken rib story. It
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of one of those type of things.
It reminds me of the
Just
Kelly Oubre getting hit by a car mysteriously. Maybe,
exactly,
maybe not.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. I love strange. I mean, of course, I don't want to see people get
No,
injured, but a weird sports injury story. I mean, that it's
it's
fun. I
interesting.
mean, not fun for the person, but it's interesting. It's interesting. We won't call it fun. It's interesting.
Because normally when we see injuries, it's on TV. It's on the court. We're watching it
Right.
happen. You're like, oh no, you hate that. You hate to see those things.
Exactly.
Dude got his face bit off. Like, is he gonna look
Yeah.
like the David Njoku story from the Cleveland Browns? He
Yeah.
gets in the house fire or whatever, and his face is all burned. He's got to have the whole cape on. Like that was not a cool injury, but kind of a cool injury.
Cool
It's
aftermath. Cool
pretty
aftermath
cool.
for sure. So
Um,
how is Aaron Gordon going to
Is he gonna
respond?
have a
I mean,
scar across
genuinely.
his eye like Scar in The Lion King? Like, are we coming
There
back
you
with
go.
something cool? We're gonna come back with the villain mask like LeBron? Are we gonna have a
Yep.
black mask? I don't know.
Oh, Rip on some Rip Hamilton
Yeah,
vibes. Who knows?
I
Who
don't know.
knows?
But yeah, rest
Yeah.
up, Aaron Gordon. I just want to know what you did to the dog. Did the dog just do it unprovoked? Were you teasing him with a steak and he got pissed off and we're just like, we're doing it?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just need to
Yeah.
know.
He had to have done something. Respectfully, he had to have done something to make him
I
mad.
just need to know.
Dogs don't do that.
And then lastly, Tuesday night, Dylan Brooks. I don't know how he didn't get teched up for this. Just I have no
Yeah.
idea. Like, how much money did the ref have on Houston last night? Did y'all end up winning? I didn't really pay attention.
No, no, we lost by 6.
Sick.
Uh,
So
yeah,
Dylan
yeah.
Brooks, he
So,
has it was a dunk, and he just kind of just stands over Tyrese Halliburton, just kind of staring at him, flexing on him
it a solid 3
for a
seconds.
long time.
Yeah.
It was not just like a subtle stare like Luca would and just run off because Luke. That's what
Right,
just.
right.
So it was a full
Yeah.
stand over and just hold like he does in
No,
pregame. The
like
stare.
a straight Shaq push off almost. It was
Yeah.
crazy. Like, when he pushes him off and kinda just, I'm thinking of Sean Kemp, my
Yeah.
apologies. But still, like, kinda just staring at him, just give him a little, up and down.
Yeah.
Pretty sick. Pretty
It was
sick.
cool. If you're a Pacers fan, you've got to be like pissed off that your superstar is now the brunt of a joke for Houston fans.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be too
there you
happy
go.
about that if I was
Right.
Tyrese Halliburton or a Pacers fan or a Pacers player in general or Rick Carlisle. I'm sure he has like terrible things to say in the locker room after the game about Dylan Brooks. Yeah, no, I watched it 20 times a day on the way back
Yeah,
home.
it was good.
I
It
was
was good.
traveling back home to Dallas and I watched it 20 times. I was like, how did he just like there wasn't a whistle in the mouth. There was nothing.
Completely got away with it. But it kind of reminds me, or I guess it kind of shocks me that the Pacers are still a 500 team. The in season tournament kind of blinded
Yeah.
me, and I was looking at how they played, and of course their offense is so efficient, but they do have one of the worst, if not the worst, defenses. But I saw that after the game. I was like, y'all are a game above 500. Y'all made it to the in season tournament final.
Yeah.
But like we were talking about, that's what they wanted. They wanted an experienced team. They wanted LeBron probably. You know, against Indy. It was
Yeah.
great, but yeah, just a quiet reminder as to these teams are always great until they're not.
Yeah. I think the Pacers went like 0-3 or 0-4 after the in season tournament championship ended. So
Exactly.
they're a fun team. They're very young. They need a piece or two to fit in with Halliburton and whoever else that they decide to keep on the team. Benedict Mathurin, Obi Toppin's still there. Miles Turner, obviously. Buddy Hield seems like he's just like, please let me go somewhere
It's
else
been 4 years.
forever.
Please, I'm stuck.
Like he's just
Yep.
perpetually in trade machine rumors. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, I'm just baffled by how Dylan Brooks didn't get tech for that. It was preposterous. That
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
how long?
Exactly.
It was like the the Key and Peele's kit, where it's like 3 pumps, you're good. 4 pumps,
Oh
4
yeah.
pumps is a flag, or 2 pumps, you're good. 3 pumps
Exactly.
is a flag. It was
Yeah.
like
Another half second, it
3
would have been
seconds, you're
over.
good, but 6, you're not. And he stood over there for
Yeah.
12. Is what it felt like.
Exactly. Exactly. That was awesome.
It was a good one. It was a good one. But before we talk about Christmas Day, let's talk about Zing Zang. Zing Zang's Blazing Bloody Mary Mix. Go get your Blazing Bloody Mary Mix today. Christmas is over, but winter is just starting. So get your Blazing Bloody Mary Mix. You can get it pre-made with the vodka. You can add your vodka to it if you want to get just the mix, or you can get the pre-made vodka. They got cans of it too. You can just get the can pre-made with the vodka. Just you don't even have to mix it. You don't have to pour it in a cup. Just get your can in a koozie and get on the run. So get your Blazing Bloody Mary
There
Mix
it
from
is.
Zing Zang today. Christmas Day recap. Let's go in order of the games. So we had Knicks 129 and Bucks 122. Jalen Brunson had 38 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. It's pretty good for a 6'1" guy, you know.
Yeah, right. New York needs a star, and nobody knows if he really will be at this point, but he's proving every single night that he has that capability. And I know that it pains you so hard that he went from your number one team to your number two
Yeah.
team. Also, another thing too. Congratulations, all three of your teams won on Christmas. Your
I
Heat, your
mean,
Knicks, and your Mavs won on
I,
Christmas. Good for
I
you.
had a great Christmas day because my Miami Dolphins won on Christmas Eve. They beat the Dallas Cowboys. Finally won a good game. Then all my teams went on Christmas Day in NBA. So I had a blast.
Awesome. Awesome. You can't get better than that, folks. I think it was great to see Jalen Brunson in that type of scenario. It felt like a playoff scenario at MSG, which who knows? It could be a second round matchup. I'd love to see
Mm-hmm.
that with both teams at full health. I mean, of course, it would be like Bucks and 6, but it'd be a fun 6,
Right.
right? I'm definitely I definitely love the Jalen Brunson propaganda. 38 on Christmas Day, man, awesome. That's
It was a hot
awesome.
start, 11 a.m. Forgot that basketball was starting at 11. I saw a commercial while we were hanging out in the living room, just chatting it up. Christmas morning, just nice, easy morning. And we didn't do the presents right away, which kind of casually got in, had some breakfast, had a few coffees, just got
Ooh,
in there, had the slippers on,
beautiful.
just a little hoodie, feeling great on the couch. And then I look up and I'm like, kind of just open Twitter. There's a little dead period, so I was like, let's just see what's going on Twitter. Oh shit, the game's on. I had to run and go get the computer, and it was panic mode. But um, I think this game shows that the Knicks aren't just a defensive team that can bully ball their way to wins. 129 points is no slouch. Like against the Bucks as well. I mean, the Bucks don't have the greatest defense, but they have Giannis, and Jalen Brunson could have just been beat up by Giannis the entire time. But a 50 ball the other week, 38 on Christmas. Jalen Brunson is absolutely beloved in New York City at the Garden. Like everyone loves him. He's the perfect Nick. He's very, I guess, John Starks esque. You know?
I was just gonna say left-handed
Yeah.
John Starks.
So
Love that.
he's a perfect Nick and a perfect performance on Christmas Day. You love to see it if you're a Knicks fan, and if you're a Bucks fan, you're wondering where your defense went. I'm sure you've been wondering that since like October 20th, October 21st, maybe whatever day
Yep.
the season
Yep.
started.
Yep.
Not ideal to say the least.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think Giannis put up 36 in the game as well.
Yeah, it was some mid-30s, I think.
So
He was still hooping too, but I mean, at this point, it's
yeah,
expected. Him and Embiid are my two worst inefficient hoopers. Just shitty basketball all
yeah.
around.
Speaking of Embiid, ducking 2 games in a row against good teams, it's not
Hmm.
really a duck. He did roll his ankle.
Yep.
I watched the video. It was a high ankle sprain or a low ankle sprain. I don't know which one
Yeah,
it was,
yeah,
but
yeah. Whatever,
he's
whatever.
not ducking. But my narrative is going to stay the same. He's ducking.
Out in parentheses, good team.
I saw the video. Yes, not ducking, but kind of. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, the Knicks Bucks game was a great start to Christmas Day. It was a close matchup at the end. Like we said, Jalen Brunson 38, Giannis 36. I think Dame had 32. So a lot of star power in that one, a lot of offense, which was great. Moved on to the Nuggets, 120, Warriors 114. Jokic had 26, 14, and 8. I think Jamal Murray had 28 to add along with that. And it's time to have a conversation. Sent this in our text
Lay it on me.
earlier. Steph is a Christmas Day choker. I'm going to ask the
Yeah.
question, is he just a big game choker in general?
I I love that we talked about this at some point because a lot of this season people have been like, can Steph just not do it in close games? Like, what's happening in clutch time for him? But we'll at least leave it. I'll at least leave it at the fact that he is clearly a Christmas Day choker. It's been about 8 years. that he's been doing this whole Christmas Day game stuff, and he just does not have the stats to back it up. I mean, he is shooting like 30 and 40% from the field, let alone 20 and
Oh,
30% from three. I mean, I had the graphic pulled up yesterday when I did see it, but I think the most he's dropped is like 26 on Christmas.
mm.
And even then it was like, oh, he's shot 41%. Okay. Jalen Green can do that tomorrow. Like, that's giving him too much credit, but
Oh,
still.
brother. Can't clip that one. We can't clip that.
Yeah. No,
Um,
no.
yeah, no, it's a problem. He's kind of been a big game choker outside of the 2022 finals. Like, there hasn't been a finals experience of Steph Curry where he's just gone nuclear
Exactly.
like for 5 out of the 7 games or 4 out of the 6 games. Like, he's never just been the guy, except for 2022. Obviously, he did well and they won a title and win this fourth. But outside of that, I just don't remember a big regular season game outside of maybe the Oklahoma City game in 2016 where he hit the game winner in overtime with like .6 on the clock left with the
Yeah,
40-foot
exactly.
three or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna Paul George that, and I'm gonna tell you that was a bad shot
Yeah,
because it was a
it
bad shot.
was, but it went in.
He just happened to make it.
It went in. So, but outside of that, like I don't remember a regular season game like the Christmas Day games against the Cavs when they were doing the dueling thing. It was always Kevin Durant, but Kyrie Irving hit the shot in 2016,
Right,
2015,
right.
2016 Christmas. I can't remember which one it was, but I guess it was 2016 Christmas. So, um, yeah, no, Christmas Day is a problem for Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Not great. I didn't ask you this. We didn't prep this, but I am curious. Do you have a favorite Christmas Day game that you remember?
I'm thinking, based on like overall
Mm-hmm.
nostalgia, definitely Lakers Heat
Okay.
04.
Shaq's first
Because like
return.
it's like a yearly tradition. I'll watch the highlights of that
Yeah.
game over and over. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a memorable Rockets Christmas game. Did we play? I think we played the Clippers one. I'm on the spot.
Mm.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I think that Lakers Heat one was really cool for me.
No.
But of course, Cavs Warriors. I think it was 2017, something like
Yeah.
that.
16, 17, the
That
one
one
with
was sick.
Kyrie hitting the game
2016,
winner.
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That one was modern day. I think that one was one of my favorites. But yeah, yeah. What about
I
you?
have the exact same answers. It's those two
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
Those are
Sorry
the
to take
ones
it
that
from you.
stand out because Shaq was like the coolest guy to watch when you were a kid. Like, so just average looking small white child. I was like, Shaq's the
Yep,
coolest guy ever. I love this guy. And then he's
literally.
on the Heat with Dwayne Wade, and Dwayne Wade's on to come up and return to LA. It's just mm, it's chef's kiss. It's like the best Christmas present ever. Remembering that game, you're just like,
Exactly.
ah. And it's all
Yeah, that was a
fuzzy on
fun
the
one.
YouTube highlights, and you're just like,
Oh, I
oh,
know. I didn't even think about that part. Oh my god, I love old sports highlights.
it gives you
Damn.
the tinglies, dude. It's so good.
I know. I know.
Um,
Just like the TV static.
yeah. Third game of the day on Christmas Day: Celtics 126, Lakers 115. Kristaps Porzingis 28 and 11. Um, LeBron got shot in the knee at one point, and then just like had a chase down block and a dunk on the other end like 3 minutes later. So
The full sprint
he
brawn.
is invincible. Always will be. Always has been. Every time he gets hurt, like I literally thought he just. I can't remember what happened in the finals 2016. He fell, landed on his arm. I was like, he just snapped his arm.
He's
He's
dead.
done. Like he's just snapped his arm, and then he's like, "Yeah, I made 2 free throws and finished the game." I
He's like,
was
no, I'm
like,
fine. I'm
"What?"
fine. Yeah, when Kobe tore his Achilles, he still drained the two free
Yeah.
throws. Yeah.
But every time
Yeah.
LeBron looks like he's like he literally just got shot, sniped out of the air. 2 minutes later, he's fine. He did it against the Mavericks last year, and I was like, and that was the demise of the Mavericks season. After that, it
Yeah,
was
right.
over. It was done. They were
It's
dead.
theatrics. I love it. He feeds into the theatrics.
Missed like 2 weeks after that, and he's like, "Oh, I got plantar fasciitis. People don't come back from this ever." And then he's just like, "I'll play in 2 weeks. I'm good,
Yeah, he's like, I'll be fine. Yeah.
fine."
Incredible.
But yeah, they ended
God.
up losing the game. Uh, yeah, it was fine.
Yeah. I saw a crazy visual on ESPN.com as I was kind of doing a little. I want to say doing research for this podcast, but I was really just trying to see how Jalen Green was shooting tonight.
Yeah,
Ended up finishing 40%, but did have a great first half. 6 for
not a
13,
big deal.
16 points. Very good, very good. Good job, Jalen. But it was a visual, and it was the power rankings, and it was a picture of Dylan Brooks, Luka Doncic, and Kristaps Porzingis. as the top three guys on the vision on the picture, and I was just like, "This is a nightmare blunt rotation. This sucks." So I clicked on the article, and it was just a normal power rankings, right? And I was like, why are we picking these dudes?" I get that Porzingis had a good game, but what are we doing here? So it just threw me off. It just threw off the legitimacy of ESPN for me, as does almost everything else. But that really sunk it in for me. I was like,
Eastern
what the
Europeans love
fuck?
that graphic. Let me tell you.
Oh, I know. It was awesome. No, I will say, just for the funniness, the comedy factor, awesome,
That's good.
awesome moment.
I miss Kristaps Porzingis dearly, even though it never worked out in Dallas, and I hated every second of it for the most part. I really wanted to work out, but I miss him. I
Yeah,
always liked him. He was on my Knicks now, and then he was on my Mavericks, and now he's on nobody's Celtics. Not in this world. Not in our world of zero
not
gravity.
not in this universe.
Not in the
Nope,
zero gravity universe.
that's
Um,
right.
yeah, it was a fine game, I guess. Like I didn't get a whole lot out of it. It two okay teams. Like the Celtics are really
Yeah,
good, but kind of not at the same time. And the Lakers, same thing. They have LeBron. And if LeBron and AD can just do things, they're usually in good shape. But
yeah,
Kristaps Porzingis being the best player on the Celtics this year is not something I had on my bingo card.
exactly. And overall though, it was a decent game. Like I said, I somehow managed to watch almost all 13 hours of basketball on Christmas. Don't ask me
Oh
why.
boy.
I won't tell you. But I think that it was great that Kristaps had that moment for himself. I think that anyone over 7 foot, 7 feet tall needs 10 times more confidence than any other player, especially if they play out of the post, out
Yeah.
of the paint, the majority of the time. Because Rudy Gobert, he can go out there and stink it up as long as he's blocking people. He's good.
Right.
He's happy. He's fine. But it was kind of nice to see that, and I there wasn't there hasn't been great or Celtics Lakers games in recent memory, and I could definitely say that this was the one of the better ones, which is cool, and it just happened to be on Christmas, so the vibes were even more immaculate. You know what I mean? But yeah, just that LeBron chase down with the Scott Foster,
Yeah.
it was a good block. However,
Yeah.
I
That was good.
all time audio clip, loved it. I'd almost say every game had a moment this year. Every Christmas game had a
Yeah.
moment, if not a moment. We'll get into this right after this, but Jaime Hawkes, players who, you know, aren't expected to go too crazy and they have a breakout. Sick. Grayson Allen had a breakout game, and I hate saying this. Man who's pushing 30. What did he make? 8 threes
Uh,
against the
yeah,
Mavs?
I
Are we
think
are we
so.
kidding me right now?
My Duke Blue Devil,
Dante Exum numbers. Oh
my
my god.
Duke Blue Devil,
Yep.
Grayson Allen.
There you
But
go.
yeah, the Celtics Lakers game. I think the only reason I'm just like meh on the game was because the Lakers didn't wear gold. They didn't wear the yellow. Why?
Yep.
Why are we
Yep.
having a Celtics Lakers game if we're not wearing green and yellow? What are we
No.
doing?
I know. I know.
Uh,
People don't think those visual things matter, but they do. They really do.
Worldwide Wob tweeted it out. He does like game day graphics for all the games and all that kind of stuff, and he ranks the uniform matchup and he gives it a score out of 10. And he said
Yep.
9.7. And someone quoted it, was like, why the fuck is this not a 10 out of 10? And he goes, 10 out of 10 is reserved for one matchup and one matchup only. It is Celtics greens versus Lakers gold. It's the
Respect.
best one. It always will be. Um,
No, you're not a part of NBA Twitter unless you have the Worldwide Wob
yeah,
follow. So
absolutely.
shout out Rob Perez for the follow in 2015. I appreciate it. Goat
I think
salute.
I was a 2014 follow, so right
Got
around
the
there.
OG
Yeah,
card.
right around there,
Yeah,
freshman year in college. I was like, "This is a big deal.
there it
This is a
is.
big deal," even though he follows 1,000, like a million people already. But it's fine.
Yeah, 1.2 million. Just checked it last night. No
I
big
think
deal
back
though.
then it was only like 600,000, so got in early.
Wow,
Maybe it was
salute.
less. I don't remember what he was back then, but
He's on a much better pace
yeah,
now.
he,
600,000 in about eight
yeah,
years, 9
not bad,
years.
not bad.
he's taking a back seat to the spamming.
So we can move on to the ducking game. Jimmy Butler doesn't play and Joel Embiid doesn't play. Miami Heat versus 76ers. Heat 119, Sixers 113. The Jaime Jaquez Jr. breakout game. NBA
Oh
Twitter
yeah,
loves him. Niche NBA Twitter loves him. I think this was the introduction that casual basketball players are now Jaime, Triple J, little Triple
I
J in
love it. I
Miami.
love it. I love it, man. I hate the Heat, and everyone knows
Hmm.
this if you have listened to a half a minute of this show. But Jaime Jaquez is sick.
He's
The
the best.
Hispanic representation. I'm Cuban. Shout out Miami. I should love
You
Miami, but
should.
I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't. I
It's a
don't. I
great
don't.
place.
But Jaime Jaquez is sick. I love the way he played. He just, and it's so funny because every time we describe this about a fairer skinned player, we always say they have the grit, the grind, the mental
Yeah.
wherewithal to really get themselves to the next level, right? But unironically, he has all of those things. So why wouldn't I say it about
Right.
him? Yeah, I don't care how like burnt out and how much of a meme it is. He is sick to watch. I love this shit, man. He's awesome.
I saw a tweet. I can't remember the exact details of it, but it was like the Whites got like Dirk and Jokic and Luka and all these guys. The and there's a certain demographic of people that wear black Air Force Ones, and they have Patrick Beverly and
Yeah,
players like that. And then it was like finally the Hispanics have got a guy now in Jaime Jaquez Jr.
yep,
And Devin Booker's been
exactly,
around for over a
exactly.
decade now, and no one cares. He's half Mexican, and no one cares. So
Oh, it's
yeah,
awesome.
Jaime Jaquez Jr. 31-10 in that Christmas Day game. No Jimmy Butler, no Joel Embiid. So it was kind of just up to Jaime and Bam, pretty much. Like
Yeah,
that's all they had,
yeah,
and the Sixers have not much either, other than Tyrese Maxey. So it was an interesting game. These were all relatively close games.
yeah. All time Tyrese Maxey stinker. By the way, I think he shot 4 for
It was
21 last
bad.
time I checked.
Yeah.
It was a all time stinker. Worst Christmas present ever for
Mm-hmm.
Philly. Just I have not seen someone look so lost out there since someone on the Rockets.
Since like
That's
last
it. That's it.
Tuesday.
That's it. I'm not going to say anything else about this.
Yeah, Tyrese Maxey was 4 of 20, 1 of 8 from 3, 12 points, 4 fouls, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. Uh, yeah, not great. Kelly Oubre had 25, and Tobias Harris had 27. Mo Bamba, 18 off the bench.
Salute, Mo
So,
Bamba. Play the
play,
song. Play the
do the
song.
song, dude.
Play the song. Send a
Send a
video.
video. Can't say that. Yeah, no, it was a fun game. The Heat are fun. I love the Heat. Obviously, I have a little bit of a bias there. Love Miami. Um, but with no Jimmy Butler, I was weary of the game. But then Joel Embiid's like, yeah, I'm not playing either. I'm like, okay. So
Like,
anyone
this
can
is
win this
y'all's
game.
game to lose at this point.
But Jaime,
Yep.
breakout game for the casuals of NBA. Welcome, casuals. Welcome to the Jaime Jaquez Jr. experience. It is wonderful to have you. We can't wait to
Yep.
see where this ride takes us.
Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5.
Yeah, they advance to the finals after they just
Oh, right,
destroy the
right.
Celtics. It happens
Sure,
every year. It just keeps happening.
sure. Yeah, the 7 seeded Miami Heat
Yeah, it's gonna
of all
happen. I
teams.
mean, everyone knows it. Bill
I
Simmons
love
talks
it.
about
I
it
love
all
it.
the time. He's like, it's gonna happen. They're the boogeyman. I don't know.
Yep.
Last game of the night, late game. It started at like 9:45 Central, and I
Yeah.
got the notification on my phone. We were still having a grand old time, a little grand Christmas party at my parents' house. But I look at the phone and I was like, huh, game just started. That's cool. Uh, Mavs 128, Suns 114. The rivalry, lack of rivalry, really is how you describe this because one team wins and one team wins only when these games are played.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, Luka scored 50, 6 rebounds, 15 assists.
Yep.
Holy shit, Luka.
The floor is yours, brother.
I mean, how is he not number one? And I just don't understand why
I
he's not
know.
like one
I
or
know.
two. Like, if we're going to let Jokic have one, let Jokic have one. But it's not Joel Embiid. He doesn't play any of the good teams, and he just feasts on the bad teams. Luka plays
Mhm.
everyone and is carrying the Mavs team, which they did just lose tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I don't want to talk about it, but Luka is just incredible. Did you see the tweet before the game? Luka's running through the hallway, just sprinting before the game, down the tunnel, back to the locker room, and he's just sprinting like straight armed, and he goes, "I'm fast, I'm fast,
Oh.
I'm fast." And someone quoted
Yep.
it and was like, "We might be on Messi levels with Luka, if you know what I mean."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we might be getting there. I don't know, either that or like delirium of having a baby and not sleeping anymore might be hitting Luka. I don't know, but 56 and
Sure.
15. If you're not
Sure.
sleeping and you're putting up 56 and 15, count me in. I'm in. Have another
Exactly.
baby. Have another baby, Luca.
I'm gonna burst your bubble for just one quick second, and you can hate
Absolutely.
me all you want. It was, if you did see the end of the game, it was a low key Mickey Mouse 50.
Yeah.
They kept him
Mhm.
in. He got a little bullshit floater. Nobody was
Yeah.
covering him. They were already up like 10 at that
Mhm.
point, 12. Let him have his fun. Let him have his 50. I don't hate it personally, but I just want to make it known that we see what we're
And
seeing, and we're
you
going to
have to
mark down what we're
you
seeing.
gotta realize that the Suns had a lead in that quarter.
They
They
did.
they
They
came
did.
all the way back. They were down like almost 20, came all the way back, built a lead about 10, and then Luca reverse. He just laid the Uno card down
Right.
and it was
Right.
over.
Right. Right.
Um,
Not hating. Not hating.
no,
I'm just
I
saying.
also just wanted to point that out.
No,
Um,
that's fair.
on the back of this game, should the Phoenix Suns blow it up?
Let's be real. Absolutely not. I People are so reactionary in this league. If Bradley Beal comes back and they are just 4-6, 3-7,
Bradley Beal
in
did
a
come
10
back.
game
I do
stretch.
want to point that out.
I, hold on, hold on. Hear me out. I do not like anyone being reactionary, anyone being silly about short term projects that are, because it's clear Kevin Durant has. I hate to say he has a year or two left in him, but like, I mean, come on, like, I I don't like what the Phoenix Suns have built, especially for what they've given up in order to build
Yeah,
this, but there's no reason why they should blow this up just yet. I mean, worst case scenario, you get half the value of what you could get with these players in the offseason if you guys somehow don't even make the play in. But come on, all the odds are stacked in your favor. You might be 500. You just beat my Rockets. You're above 500, I think, or somewhat 15-15, something like that. Let the teams play, and if they don't work, they don't work. Like I'm thinking of like super teams, maybe not super teams, because a lot of super teams have failed in the past 20 years.
yep.
I mean, you got the 04, the 03-04 Lakers, Karl Malone, all that. You got, let me think actually.
Really wasn't anyone else
I
until the
mean,
Celtics,
you
right?
got Brooklyn, you got Brooklyn.
Yeah, and then the
You
Celtics
got,
in '08, they won a
yes,
championship, right?
yeah.
Then you have you have the Heat, Miami Heat. They win 2 out of 4, not bad. After that, is it the Kevin Durant Warriors? They,
I
they did
mean,
pretty good, 2 out of 3.
yeah, yeah. No, super teams work,
And then
but
after that,
what's the success rate? What's the success rate that we're looking at here?
well, now you gotta really put it together because like we're just mentioning ones that like ruled an era. I guess the Cleveland Cavaliers big three only won 1 out of 5 or 4. How many years they were
Right.
together? 4 years.
But that was like Superman.
Mm-hmm.
That they were fighting Superman every
Yeah,
time.
and it's just I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. It's obviously the success rate of Kevin Durant super teams are not good.
Right, right.
Russell
But
Westbrook, James
he
Harden, Serge Ibaka,
oh yeah,
Ofer.
yeah, true, true.
Then he goes to Golden State, wins a couple titles, loses the last one because everyone's knees and calves and everything just blew up. Everything just
Right,
it was
right.
assassinated.
Yeah,
Then after that, we go to Brooklyn. Got Kyrie Irving, DeAndre Jordan, and Kevin Durant, the big three. Okay, didn't work. James Harden, welcome to that squad. Didn't work. Everybody gassed out.
yep,
Now Kevin Durant is on the Phoenix Suns with a new big three. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, a lot of fun. Keep those two together.
yep.
What in the world were we thinking trading for Bradley Beal, a guy that hasn't played more than 50 something games in the last 4 years, getting a giant contract, 260 million, 270 million? I can't remember which
Yeah,
one it is. It's a lot of money. And the guy doesn't play more than 50 games max for how many
exactly.
ever years. And now, obviously, he hasn't played more than a quarter, 2 quarters. I can't remember how long he played the only game that he came back in. We're 30 games in. They're 15-15. They're at 500 because they have no depth. Not because Kevin Durant and Devin Booker aren't good. Devin Booker, you're not good against the Mavericks. We can point that one
Fraud
out.
watch, fraud watch.
We can point
Yep.
that one out.
But
He just
this leads to a bigger question. I mean, are super teams, are modern super teams a failure? And of course, we're going based off of very, very little years of evidence because we have a lot more, years of evidence to support it. But I mean, you're just seeing these teams build. like crazy. I mean, look at the retirement home Lakers, 2020, 2021. Awesome 2K squad to play, and I think they were like a 2-star on that team
Gross.
on that year. So you could do the play now
Hmm.
online, and you could play like shitty ass teams and just kill
Just
everybody.
have
It was
LeBron.
awesome. So that was sick, but it really just begs the question: like, are modern super teams failures? Every team needs depth. Every
Hmm.
team needs a Jeff Green. Every team, you're gonna love me for saying this. I'm gonna hate myself for saying it. Every team needs a Grayson Allen.
I
Unfortunately,
love him.
you know, every team needs that one guy, two guys, three guys who you can go to the bench, look to, and be like, "Hey, give me 25 minutes of fucking give me some white boy basketball. Give me some 6'10" lanky ass Derrick Jones basketball. You know what I mean? Like every team needs that. And I feel like with these super teams, they're just so top heavy that they're not investing in their benches. They're having issues, not just with their starting line or not just with their bench, but with their starting lineup as a whole as well, because there's no continuity.
Yeah,
You're seeing Devin Booker play 38, 44 minutes a night, and we're just like, what are we
it's not
doing?
sustainable.
Like, are we trying to kill these people? Legitimately asking, are we trying to kill these people?
Well,
Because like, what is happening?
because the modern day NBA, the last handful of years, we're moving to a NBA where 2 stars are needed to win a championship, but that's it. No more than 2 stars, because when you get 3 stars, then your cap's just obliterated. The Suns have proved that, where they don't have any depth at all. And then if one of the superstars gets hurt, down you're down to 2 and no depth, which will not win you basketball games. This is not early 2010s. This is a different brand of basketball. This is completely different than what was played in the early 2010s with the Miami Heat, Chicago
Exactly.
Bulls. Like these teams that had three big stars, you can't do that anymore. And the Suns are proving that. The Lakers haven't
Exactly.
gotten a third star. And every time they try to get like a halfway of a third star, it never works out. They trade the person. LeBron gets in 16 new role players, and then it gets better every time,
Yep.
every
Yep.
single time. So, and I guess if you look at Miami, they have Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. They made the finals last year. Denver,
Exactly.
Jokic and Jamal Murray. It just that's what it is. The Bucks now have Dame and Giannis, but they also have Chris Middleton, so they have like a mini third star. So I don't know how that works out because their defense doesn't look very good and they don't have as much depth. Case in point, can't do the third star. You just can't do it.
Yep.
It doesn't work anymore.
Yep. It's too much to handle. Not only for the fans, not only for the coaching staff, but for the actual players on the court. And let me just say, going back to what we were talking about briefly, the super teams aren't playing the 2010 2011 Charlotte Bobcats anymore. Every NBA team is
Well,
good besides Detroit.
yeah.
Um, who you want to touch on it briefly? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
let's
Go
just
ahead.
go ahead
Let
and
them
hit
know.
that at the end of the
Yeah.
episode. We're going to do this at the end of every episode now. Things that have happened since the Detroit Pistons last won a game.
Oh my God.
Um,
Please.
if you're
That's
just a
awesome.
sports fan in general, the Arizona Diamondbacks won a World Series game in the World Series since
Oh
the
my
last time the
God.
Detroit Pistons
Oh my
won a game.
God. That's
They've
like
won a game more
2
recently than
months.
the Detroit Pistons in
Wow.
baseball, which
Wow.
baseball hasn't been played since the first week of November.
Yeah.
27 losses
Wow.
breaks the record for most losses
Yep.
ever. Cade Cunningham had like 39, just played his absolute balls off.
41.
Oh, it was
41.
41. I looked at it and it was
Yeah.
39.
41.
So 41. And it's the second time he scored 40 in the last week and a half, right? He can't do it himself. James Wiseman is
I
getting
feel
20
so bad.
minutes. I how did Monty Williams get $75 million, $85 million,
Oh
whatever
my
it was?
God.
You can't
Ridiculous.
fire anyone because you don't have enough
Ridiculous.
money because you haven't been getting any ticket sales or merch sales because no one's buying shit from the Detroit Pistons
Exactly.
except for the courtside tickets. Shout out to that guy on Twitter that was really smart about the Hawks game. Shout out that guy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
27 straight losses. Pistons fans, I'm sorry. The city of Detroit, I'm sorry. I saw a graphic before we got on here. The 4 worst teams in each sport, all 4 of them, like in history, like the 4 worst seasons, they're all 4
Hmm.
from Detroit.
Hmm.
The 0-16 Detroit Lions, the
Damn.
Pistons currently at 2-27 are on pace to be the worst team ever in any sport.
5-77. Are you kidding
Yeah,
me? There's no way. They're going to get to 10
I,
wins.
I
They
hope
have
so,
to.
but they're at a
They have to.
0.61 winning percentage right now.
Oh.
Um,
Oh, shit.
yeah, the Detroit Tigers are on that list at like 43 wins or 35 wins in 03. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
And then the Detroit Red Wings, 19 wins in the NHL in 2019.
Yikes. Yikes. That,
City of
that'll do it.
Losers.
Yeah.
Not the
The
City of
Lions are
Champions.
going to save them. The Lions will make the NFC title game this year. I know this isn't an NFL pod, but I'm really manifesting it. I think it's going to happen. And I think the city of Detroit will be revitalized. I think the Detroit Pistons will go 15-67 to finish the season off in honor of the Detroit Lions.
And pardon my take from Barstool tweeted out the graphic. What did it cost you to win the Super Bowl for the Lions? And it was like the Detroit Pistons. That's what it costed.
Would you rather have a Lions Super Bowl or the Detroit Pistons never win a game again? I mean,
it's the Super
give me
Bowl
a
every
Lions
time
Super
you
Bowl.
win a
Give
Super
me a
Bowl.
Lions Super Bowl. What are we talking about?
You're
Come on.
guaranteeing yourself a championship in one of your favorite sports. You might as well just take it.
Exactly.
And then just never watch basketball again. Is what it or move. Just move away from Detroit.
Yeah, just move. Move to
Burn your
Louisville.
house
Louisville
down
will
and
get a
run.
basketball team.
Is what and watch Four Brothers and then run.
Yeah.
Detroit. I'm so sorry. 2-27 is just rough. We were
bad.
Astros fans. So 2010 and 2013, kind of the same boat. It felt the same way.
Yep.
It's just there was a lot more losses actually than we.
Yep. Hey, Wandy Rodriguez, shout out.
Yeah. It was LJ Hose. It was great.
Yep. Hose 0
Hose. Yeah, let's just cap it there. We'll talk about the other topic next episode. Christmas Day was awesome. Had a great Christmas Day. It revitalized the NBA season, I think, because it was on the downturn because everyone started going back over to football after the in-season tournament. I think we're back on the up and up. New Year's. Football's going to start lessening. College football's almost over. NBA basketball's taking over. Trade deadline. We'll get into that in the first couple of weeks of January.
Like a month and a half, 2 months.
We'll pull out the trade machine and we'll just put it on the graphic on the
podcast.
podcast.
Oh yeah.
So we're each gonna. All right, we're gonna start this in 2 weeks, not next week, but the week after. We're each gonna bring a trade every week. Trade machine graphic.
Yes. I love this podcast.
There we go. We got a new segment, trade machine. Christmas Day was awesome. John Morant. Maybe go back and look at your notes.
Figure it out.
Gordon, maybe get a dog trainer. Dylan Brooks, congratulations on not getting teched up. I don't know how it happened. I don't know how it happened.
It's awesome.
But this has been Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast, presented by Zing Zang's Blazing Bloody Mary Mix and the Celebrity Mint. Again, go check out the description below. I have links linked to Zing Zang and Celebrity Mint. Go check out their awesome collectibles over at celebritymint.com. We just got more basketball to watch. Let's watch basketball tonight. I'm going to watch basketball tomorrow night. I'm going to watch basketball the next night. It's awesome. We don't have any more dead periods.
Little 10 a.m. bowl game in between. Like, come on, what are we doing?
Why not?
Hell yeah.
It's Christmas break.
On a Thursday?
Why not?
Come on.
Why wouldn't we?
I love this life.
That's great. This has been Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast.